As someone who edits as my main job, I've been a part of and heard of many a time people have had less than a savory experience working for someone, and that's what we're here to talk about today, where Doodle Plays claims that CaliEffect, one of the biggest Yu-Gi tubers on the platform, oh god, look at that sub count, I wish it was mine, has basically had their entire editing portfolio eradicated and has been basically been treated like doo-doo during their period together. So let's get started. And before we get into it, if you're wondering why Doodle talks in a specific way in their thread, it's because they've got DID, or dissociative identity disorder, and this is one of their main coping mechanisms. And second note, I was able to directly talk with Doodle about all this on Discord to make sure nothing was left out, so special thanks to them, as well as Dyer and Samuel, for looking over the script as a whole. So, throughout the winter 2022 and summer 2023 quarter, throughout that period, Doodle was hired as an artist for Cali when they noticed that for whatever reason, Cali was always needing new editors and was actually approached by them to be one for him. Now, this is a bit of a red flag off the rip, as most people, especially around Cali's size, have at least one editor or a team of editors that they've got on call or primarily work with. It's been that way ever since I've worked for Farfa. It's been that way now that I'm working with Nux, and it's the common practice, and bouncing around editors 24/7 and constantly needing them isn't really normal as a default. But Doodle accepted a job offer and got offered to be taught by Cali to sit in on calls, to learn how to edit and such. Personally, I do think it's a bit of a goofy move on Doodle's part to have accepted a job in editing when you've literally never even touched a software before, but it's also insane that Cali is offering a job to someone who has zero experience in the first place. It's kind of like Doodle is responsible for stepping into a bear trap, but at the same time, Cali set up the bear trap, made a trail of candy towards the bear trap, and is berating Doodle for stepping into one when 99% of this is kind of his fault in the first place. Anyways, Doodle got put in charge of Casual Cali and was being paid a whole $10 a video, which is insane. I don't think I have to explain why $10 for hours of work is insane. For context, I charge about $40 to $80 per video, depending on how long it is. For my own editors, when they need to edit like a 20-minute structured segment from stream, I charge other people about $50 to $100 and $150 per video. Dyer charges about $40 to $50 per hour because they do it by the hourly rate. Cali is basically paying $10 an hour for videos that could either be 40-minute stream segments to 1 to 2 hour VOD pieces that could be broken up into multiple pieces and have an intro/outro attached at the last minute where the video could have been finished already, and then Doodle would be blamed for, well, why doesn't this intro or outro fit? Or now I have to redo the intro or the video and fix it myself, which is insane, especially considering the fact that they've got to do 3 videos a week, which is already a pretty big workload for anyone, not even just, professional editors. Anyways, Doodle's obviously pretty overwhelmed, and Cali thought that an effective motivator would be to move Doodle to the main channel in just under a month of learning to edit, which is, a bit of a leap, but again, it's Cali's decision, not mine, and got a whole additional raise of $20 to $30 per video, $30 being the pretty rare exception. By the way, again, these are videos that, when you look at the average length, are about 10 to 20 minutes long on average. So, and it's pretty heavily edited content. It's not like mine, where it just pans and zooms most of the time and just stream content. These are videos that do require a pretty significant chunk of effort to get out, and additionally time. Doodle additionally felt that they were being treated, as a content advisor or a channel manager without getting any additional pay or treatment for such things, and for those being, well, going above and beyond is how you get a raise. That's true, but there's also a difference between your employer recognizing and being open about upward movement possibilities and being exploited. Shout outs to all my retail and office workers out there. Anyways, Doodle is obviously getting pretty peeved about the whole thing. Here you can see them just basically pouring their heart out on how to make thumbnails and just sort of advice about the whole sort of thing. And Doodle's basically like, hey dog, like, your channel has basically doubled or arguably even tripled in viewership and size over the period where you brought me on. Like, I kind of want like a real raise. And for those who are not too familiar with YouTube AdSense metrics, your income grows exponentially the more views you have. Like, doubling your view count could basically be equated to like quadrupling your income. It is that insane. Anyways, so it's not like Cali shortened cash. Doodle brought these issues up, but got blown off for most of the part. And even to an extent where Top Deck TJ or Cali's wife is basically just being the sole sort of contact between Cali and Doodle, and Cali's not even reaching to Doodle themselves. And at a certain point, Doodle's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna pull the plug. I've had enough. This isn't working, and I'm out. And the most insane part of it all was when they decided to open a YouTube jobs portfolio and put the content that they made for Cali onto it, and Cali had actually denied the fact that they had been working for them and essentially just cooked their whole portfolio over the past couple months with a giant nuh-uh, which is especially petty considering you have to manually log in and manually click, yes, I am denying that these videos are mine, that they've worked with me, etc., etc. This is why a lot of editors like Dyer put a little watermark that says that a video was made by them, and it's just an insurance mechanism in case anything like this happens. But not me though, because I'm really lazy. Overall, Doodle walked away from the whole scenario and is more or less just, yeah, like, I don't want this sort of treatment to ever happen to me nor anyone else, and it is mainly the YouTube portfolio thing that was just the tipping point for them, and they wanted to make this experience public because of that. And what do I think? I think that if you're going to hire help, be reasonable with how much you are going to pay for your hired help. Make your guidelines and pay structure clear. Be open with how things are going to be run, and be an adult about the whole thing rather than try and get third parties to talk on your behalf about all of it instead of trying to pull a, well, actually, after all is said and done, and try and get people out of pay, time, credit especially, and all that sort of stuff. And all this goes especially for larger tubers who I know for a fact, because I've seen your metrics, definitely have the resources to pay editors what they deserve and much, much more. Which makes me want to talk about how people behind the scenes, especially editors, really do undervalue and undersell themselves. A lot of editors in both Yu-Gi-Oh, League, and whatever, and people in production both undersell themselves and are undervalued by the companies that hire them. I know this not because not only do I work as a lead editor for a channel, Shadows to Nux, and have to occasionally oversee new hires and resumes, but because a lot of my IRL friends work for production companies up to the scale of Riot Games and associated esports agencies, and are still being underpaid and let go at the drop of the hat, and are being perfectly fine with that sort of treatment, because a lot of people in these areas sometimes don't realize how critical they are to a channel's success, and at the same time realize how disposable they are at a moment's notice, because everyone wants the gun for that super high tier echelon esports job, the super high tier echelon Riot game production job. Because back when I was editing for a bunch of YouTubers, this was basically what the landscape looked like in terms of people editing and how deep the rabbit hole went. Let me just pull that up real quick. Oh boy, look at this. It is absolutely disgusting. Like, you basically had me, Dyer, Crush Cards, Dan slash like Optimal Productions, Vlad, and like Jules in there, basically in the slave tank, working for like every single major tuber, offshoot tubers, IRL tubers, VTubers. It was insane. It was absolutely insane. And I really do feel for Doodle, because I definitely know what it's like to work your ass off, but be denied the credit or the recognition or the pay for how much you actually do put into these videos and what you do behind the scenes to make it happen. And it's one of the reasons why, for the most part, again, stopped editing for YouTubers. And all Doodle was asking for was a $5 raise. Insane that a channel that was easily making about 8 to 10K a month couldn't even see to that. Little rapid fire segments of YouTubers responding to the whole situation. We've got E3 saying, PSA, if you're a creator and you can't pay your employees a fair wage and aren't straight up with them about what hiring you do, you shouldn't hire them. That's it. Whatever happened to Duel seems exploitative at best and malicious at worst, and goes into a segment about how TheCaliEffect allegedly Allegedly, at a hypothetical regional, Konami, do not sue me or ban me, stole from his boys about 10 years ago. Additionally, Chaotic Meatball generally disappointed in the Cali effect after seeing this being dropped by one of his former editors. Being exploited as an editor really is screwed up, especially denying their portfolio, having an associate of Cali's channel literally vouch for them on said portfolio. JJPM, for any content creator, if you cannot pay an editor, well then don't get one. Also, please credit their work no matter what happens. I really want to hear the other side of the story. Spoiler alert, it's not nice. Doodle, hope you are able to get hired soon. And Wolfie's, editing is like 90% of what makes a video successful. Just a tip to any editors: if you're making less than minimum wage per hour for a video, then it's not worth it. There are plenty of creators out there who will pay you what you are worth. Good luck, Doodle. Hope you'll find something better in the future in no time. And Doodle's links are obviously going to be in the description. Please show them some support and let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you want to see Cali's effect response to all of this, that I couldn't be asked to condense into this video for $10. His Twitch VOD link will be in the description down below as well. Most of it is just confirming what we already knew, and Cali being caught red-handed about the whole thing. Obviously, again, do not harass everyone. Show support instead. And that's going to be it. See ya.